Good afternoon, my fellow 2015ers. I'm Josh Scott, one of your class marshals. And it is my absolute pleasure to be introducing the next speaker, the one, the only, Ethan Gabriel Loewi. So, Ethan first walked into my life at the onset of sophomore year. One of my blockmates decided to take time off at the last minute. So my roommates and I thought we had somehow beaten the Dunster housing system, and we're already making plans to make and transform this coveted extra room into the best Bomberman video game suite you have ever seen this side of the Mississippi. But Ethan here, this random tall kid from Colorado, waltzed right on into A33 and dropped his luggage down smack dab on top of our dreams and aspirations of creating the ultimate man cave. However, family and friends of the class of 2015, do not fret. For this tale of first world woes does indeed have a happy ending. Unbeknownst to us, we did win the housing game. We got Ethan. And let me tell you, this guy is incredibly talented. So I'm ecstatic that you will all be getting a glimpse at one of Ethan's many gifts before piecing out of here. But what's even more impressive to me, beyond his skill as a writer, is his willingness to make himself vulnerable and try new things despite any lingering fears or apprehension. And so, without further ado, please put your hands together and welcome to the podium, Ethan Gabriel Loewi.
Ariana Grande once said, "Don't ever doubt yourself or waste 1 second of your life. It's too short and you're too special." Powerful words. But I'm not just here to bombard you with incredibly profound quotes. In fact, I'm actually here to disagree with Miss Grande, though it pains me to contradict such a prominent cultural and intellectual leader. At first glance, her quote seems like a harmless collection of graduation speech cliches. Believe in yourself, you're special, you are all going to be president. But let's take a closer look at this gem of wisdom through the always helpful lens of academic analysis. Miss Grande makes two normative statements that I would designate as potentially problematic. Firstly, that life is too short, and secondly, that we are special. Maybe it's too long, and we're not. But I'd like to overlook these concerns for now to get to the most troubling piece of Miss Grande's advice. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't ever doubt yourself. First of all, it's not realistic advice. I'm sure that every one of us in our 4 years at Harvard has come to know self-doubt. Maybe we were unsure of our niche in the vast Harvard ecosystem, or what career path we should follow after graduation. Maybe the doubt itself became a source of anxiety that we strove to silence, to find airtight confidence and a straightforward path through life, rather than struggle with the frightening and ambiguous challenges that self-doubt can present. As graduates of a place like Harvard, this type of evasive overconfidence can sneak up on us. We're young, we're successful, we have society's stamp of approval. Everything's going right for us, so we must be living our lives the right way. But this closed-minded, deterministic thinking, while it can bring us comfort, can also blind us to meaningful introspection. All too often, we associate doubt with a lack of courage or confidence, but today I'd like to argue just the opposite. I think that to doubt yourself in an honest and unsparing way actually requires courage. To question your path through life at age 22 or 52 is an act of humility that I hope we will not abandon the second we win our first paycheck or first award. Self-doubt is more than just a growing pain or a fixture of your final year at college. It's something constructive, something illuminating, that can guide us at any stage of life. Now, just for the record, yes, I am aware that graduation speeches are supposed to be uplifting. So if all this talk of doubt is bringing you down, I want to clarify the following. Friends, classmates, comrades, you are wonderful and talented individuals. But as young Harvard graduates, we have no shortage of people telling us that we are great. And while each and every one of us deserves the strength of self-belief, let's try to balance it with the perspective of self-doubt. Now, my personal balance has always been weighted a little more heavily towards doubt, which is an understated way of saying that if competitive neuroticism were an Olympic sport, I would be its Michael Phelps. But ultimately, I'm grateful for my ability to question myself. Doubt can feel like a burden, but I believe it's a burden worth carrying. One especially positive aspect of doubt is that it helps us think through our decisions. And we've all had to make some big ones lately, about where to go and what to do and why. Senior year is a time of tremendous doubt for many of us. And in the crucible of all that uncertainty, it is so tempting to choose the safest or most popular options presented to us, to make the low-risk decision rather than the one that is true to our passion and ideals. We've all faced some variant of this challenging crossroads. Personally, I've long wanted to be a teacher or maybe a writer. But ever since my freshman year, a great number of people, from friends to family to drunk strangers on airplanes, have told me that I should become a lawyer. Ethan, they'd say, you're moderately good with words. You have a loud, didactic voice. So it's settled. I never wanted to be a lawyer, but the pressure came from a lot of places. The aforementioned drunk stranger on an airplane even told me that by becoming a teacher or a writer, I would be wasting my Harvard diploma. But he then proceeded to open up Sky Mall and order a set of matching beer cozies, so I think I can take that opinion with a grain of salt. And yet, despite having little passion or ability for it, I almost applied to law school. I had taken steps towards becoming a writer, but no one was offering me a book contract, and I was so petrified of being seen as a failure that I almost accepted a career I knew was not right for me, simply because it felt safe. As I learned from this experience, some people have implicit assumptions about what Harvard students should do with their lives, certain predetermined paths to a predetermined image of success. And in the stressful, tumultuous uncertainty of senior year, it's easy and tempting to ignore our doubts and just go with the flow, to be overwhelmed by the comforting allure of money or prestige. And my fear is certainly not that we will sell out. That would be an unfair judgment to make. Everyone needs to pay the bills, and I'm sure many of us will go on to be great philanthropists. But I worry that by not sufficiently questioning our path through life, we may struggle to find lives of joy and purposeful work. As a member of the class of 2015, I've seen firsthand just how smart and capable you all are, and how driven you are to make the world a better place, which is why I would hate to see even one of us get stuck doing work we don't believe in. Now, again, to be clear, I'm not saying there is anything wrong with being a lawyer, or banker or consultant, or any job that falls under the umbrella of lucrative and prestigious. The world needs talented, good-hearted people to do these jobs. But let's doubt the assumption that the most lucrative, prestigious path is necessarily the best path for us. Above all, let's pursue our prospective careers because we find them meaningful. And I don't presume to tell you what makes a career meaningful. I merely ask that we ask, and ask rigorously. Don't repress your doubt, confront it. And if you haven't found your purpose yet, keep searching, because it is better to struggle with tough existential questions than to come up with forced or unsatisfying answers, and better to fail in pursuit of a worthy goal than succeed in achieving a hollow one. Class of 2015, we have every reason to believe in ourselves. But let's not be afraid to question ourselves as well. Doubt has helped me find some perspective on my future. Maybe it can do the same for you, because we are all just searching for a meaningful path through life. And if we keep asking questions, I am confident, not doubtful, that we will find it. Thank you, classmates. Thank you, Harvard. I love you guys.